Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going hiking down to the lake. I'm going to take some pictures. This is my hobby. This is what I'm talking about today. Not just photography, but hobbies. What is your hobby? We're going to discuss it today because as seniors, we've got to have something that we're doing beyond resting in our easy chair. We have to have something we like to do, if not every day, every other day, a few times a week. But we have to have something that we look forward to and that we work on. For me, it's photography. This is what I enjoy. I don't do it as much as I would like, and this is what we're going to talk about. Planning. You can't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to go do this. Now, don't get me wrong, some people do. They do it very easily, but not everyone does. I know a lot of people that struggle with retirement and just understanding what it is they want to do with their life. Everyone believes that when you retire, everything is easy and you have every day to yourself. Every day is a weekend, as everyone always says. But keeping busy and doing something you really enjoy isn't always as easy as it sounds for everyone. So we're going to talk about that. This area is a really pretty area to hike. In fact, this morning my wife and I and our two dogs went hiking in another part of the park. There are many trails. Some of them are wooded like this. This morning we actually took the paved path, but it's just something we enjoy doing. Which brings up the fact that when you have a hobby, it's not something you have to do 8 hours a day, every single day, to keep yourself busy, unless that's your thing and that's what you want to do. But for me, I really enjoy being with my wife, and we enjoy going out and doing other things. In fact, tonight, she made me promise. We walked, but we didn't do our weightlifting. So tonight, when I get home, we have to do our weightlifting routine. So we have to stay in shape. But when I get out here for a couple of hours and do what I love doing, photography, it's just enjoyable. Number one, just being out here in the woods, enjoying nature, it's fun. But photography, if it's not your thing, find out what is. My last video was on biking. My buddy Tom, I sat down with him at the back of his home and we talked about biking, and he gave a lot of great information about biking to help everyone out and understand how to get started and have a little bit more information than maybe they realized what it takes to get back into biking and what it's like to ride. He enjoys it thoroughly. His wife is into quilting. She has been doing it for years, but when she retired, then she had a lot more time, and she's really now investing a lot of time into quilting because it's what she loves to do. So what you have to do is find out what it is that you love doing and work on it. Now, that is not as easy as it sounds, I realize, because sometimes for whatever reason, you need a little bit of motivation. I hope I'm trying to help you out with finding a little bit of that motivation, because it will make you happier if you find something you love doing and schedule some time to do it. I think this is where I'm going to set up to get my picture. I'm going to look at the light over here on these trees, maybe use a zoom lens and try to just to capture the top, just the top, not much of the sky at all, and the middle part of the tree. Now, what I did myself to get better at photography is I got on YouTube and I started looking for photographers. And I'll tell you what, on YouTube you can just find an amazing number of different people to help you at whatever hobby you might want to pursue. For me, photography, I was looking at Nigel Danson, James Popsys, mods, Peter Iversen, Nick Page, I think it's Nick Page, There's so many others. The first three I mentioned, they're in Europe, two are in England, one is in Denmark, and amazing photographers. Now, what I'm about to do today is not on their level. They're so much further above. But I'll tell you what, they offered me a wealth of information on YouTube for no cost and how to understand how to take a better picture. Mostly it's about your composition and finding the right composition. But for you and your hobby, no matter what it is, YouTube, I just believe, is one of the most amazing places to go to find someone who is very good at whatever it is you want to do. So try it out. Go to YouTube, put in biking, photography, quilting. You put in what you're interested in and see what you can come up with. You know, for me, I was blown away by the number of photographers online, like I already said. I just started watching them, and I mean hours and hours over the last couple of years. Hours and many hours of videos. And my wife, she found a few things that she enjoyed doing, and she started watching these videos and started working on a hobby of her own, all because of a YouTube video where she thought whatever they were doing was so cool that she wanted to try it. So it's just an amazing starting point, and it will help you, because when we're retired, so many people have said, hey, you got all that free time now. You probably are just going crazy, just doing everything, and that wasn't the case. Now, I retired when COVID first started. Within a month of COVID, I set up my retirement plans and I retired. So I stayed home, and my wife stayed home a lot. But that's when I started watching these videos and started to better understand how to do my photography. Now, from there, it wasn't as easy as it sounds, because I found that I wasn't getting out and actually doing it. I was procrastinating. Oh, I'll just stay home today, I'll get out tomorrow. I found to do it, just like in business, I have to plan. I have to schedule and plan an idea. I have to say, okay, today I'm coming to this park. I kind of know the picture that I want, and I'm going to go at around 3:30 to 4, because I know the sun will be out, setting in the west and shining on these trees. Because when my wife and I hiked here a few days ago in the evening, we saw this, and I said, this is where I want to come back. But I had to plan it. I had to schedule it to make it happen. And if that's what you need to do to make your hobby, whatever it is you want to do, work for you, then you've got to schedule it. I mean, if you are the one that likes to work on your computer like me, put it on your calendar on the computer. I have an Apple Watch, if I can say it correctly, and my calendar pops up, reminds me of what I need to do. If you're the paper calendar person, make it happen. Put it on the schedule. Plan for your hobby. Plan to do it. I want to, my next adventure is tomorrow morning. I already scheduled it. Told my wife I was going to do it. I want to go to Union Terminal in Cincinnati. I saw a particular shot, a picture, a photograph, black and white, at Maggiano's restaurant. I was eating there the other day for lunch, and I look up on the wall, and there's this beautiful black and white. It's a picture, I believe, of the train station in New York City and Grand Central, and it's kind of a silhouette of a few people in the terminal with the light beaming through the big, huge windows at Grand Central. And I thought, I'm going to try to replicate that. And I'm going to go to Union Center, which is an old Cincinnati train station, and see if I can replicate it. If I can't, hey, just the fun of doing it is what matters. Alright, I think I'm set up here to capture the top of these trees. Let me see what I can, gotta level it up first. You know, in doing this photography, I've learned that of all the years doing photography, I really had so much more I needed to learn. I thought I was pretty decent at it, but I was doing mostly family photography, you know, and some out on vacations and that type of thing. But I really learned a lot about composition and how you look at something, you know, what makes a great artist, and I am not in that category, but just what does make a great artist is their ability to see things amongst a lot of other things they do to create their art. But one of them is being able to see. And for a photographer, you have to be able to see a composition. Now, I'm not in a location where I'm in Grand Canyon or Yellowstone National Park or Denali or the Isle of Skye in Scotland, as I see so many of these photographers up in, you know, Canada and all these amazing locations doing amazing photography, where sometimes I think all you gotta do is point your camera and hit the shutter button and you're gonna capture a great picture. Not the case. It's amazing what these guys do and what they see, and I've learned so much in watching them. So I got this idea to do this particular video because I myself struggled with just getting out and doing it more. I mean, I enjoy doing it when I go out and do it, but I don't do it enough. And part of it has to do with scheduling, as I talked about. You have to plan to do whatever it is you want to do. You can't just wake up one morning and say, hey, well, you can. And I'm sure there's a number of people who get up in the morning and just say, hey, this is what I'm going to do today, and they just go and do it. And like Tom, in biking, he's one of those guys. When it comes to biking, man, he's just focused. But several years ago, when he started, many years ago, he focused in on what he wanted to do, and he made a plan for it. Now it's just second nature. So if you're just getting started, then you have to think about how you're going to plan and take part in the hobby that you enjoy. One of the things I'm working on right now is the focus. Got to make sure I have the right depth of field to capture these trees. I don't really want too many of the limbs here hanging in front of me in this scene. I don't think they'll work. I might have to get a little bit higher to get over them, but I am zoomed in so I think I might be able to get past them. But speaking of focus, focus is something that when you're planning an activity for yourself, you have to be able to focus it is on what you wanted to accomplish. My wife, when she was watching this YouTube a couple of years ago on how to make these little paper mache houses, she thought it was interesting, and so she focused in on what she needed to do. She started collecting the materials and making these little houses out of cereal boxes, believe it or not. And when she's almost done with 3 of them, and she had them up on the mantle. We have an early Christmas because my kids are all over the country, so instead of Christmas Day, which is just such a travel hectic day, after Thanksgiving and way before Christmas, so early December, we have our Christmas. So much easier, cheaper, and the whole idea is just you have your family home with you. We do. And then it gives them the opportunity for their spouses and significant others to have a Christmas with their side of the family on Christmas Day if that's what they choose, or Christmas Eve. So we had she had the houses up on the mantle. She hasn't painted them yet, but my son, he's an artist, went to Rhode Island School of Design, and he wanted one of the houses. And she goes, "No, I'm not done yet." He really wanted it, but he said it was really cool. But she's done an amazing job on it. But she really has spent several hours working on these houses, and it's pretty cool what she's been able to accomplish, not knowing anything about what she needed to do to make them prior to starting. She just kept watching videos, found a few key people after watching a lot of videos, a few key people that helped her out, and she's made it happen. And if you're going to start a hobby, that's what you need to do. You got to start small. You and me have already been doing something as a hobby all your working career, and like me, photography, I've done it since I was a teenager. But now I want to take it a step further, and that's why I started watching these videos. I wanted to hone my craft a little bit better than what I've done in the past years. I don't have any imagination of selling prints one day, but I am going to enjoy this process, what I'm doing right now, of trying to capture a great photograph. And if I'm the only one happy with it, that is perfect, because I'm the only one that should be happy with it. If I'm happy and my wife is happy, then everything is good. And I've enjoyed being out here today doing this. Over the last couple of weeks, getting together with some family and friends, I was talking to someone, a retired little person, a little bit, definitely about 10 years older than me, and I said, "Hey, what's up? What have you been up to?" And he started listing the chores that he has at home and what he does. And when he was done, it was nothing but chores in the house. And I didn't say much. I just said, "Hey, yeah," and we started talking some more about what I was doing and other things. But I thought to myself, is that it? I mean, I know chores have to be done, but if someone says, "Hey, what have you been up to lately?" and all you got to do the laundry, clean the house, maybe did some painting in the house, straighten some things up. For me personally, that's not what I would want to say is a productive week, day, month for me, is doing just chores. I mean, I do the chores around the house. My wife and I both equally keep things in great order. We like our house neat and clean, but it's not the highlight of what we're about. It's not what it's just one of those things you have to do. And then talked with someone else and says, hey, what you up to? And man, just a whole list of things he was doing. And I'm sure he's still keeping his house nice and clean, but he has things he's doing, things he loves, things he enjoys going to see. Now, there's a lot of different budgets out there when you're doing a hobby. For instance, I love my photography here, but I would love to be on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. I've seen these videos and it just looks like the most amazing place. But after all said and done, leaving Ohio, it's going to cost me about $8,000 to get there. So maybe someday I'll do that. It's a bucket list kind of thing. So you have to work within your budget, but there are many, many things you can probably do if you think about them. Think about it, that you could get out there and do within your own budget. You can't, like this photography equipment isn't necessarily inexpensive, but some of it I've had a very long time and some of it is new, but it's something I've always enjoyed. My wife knows that. She supports me in what I do, and I just love it. You have to find out what it is you love and find a way within your budget to make it happen. I think I need to work. I think I have some of these limbs here in my way. This tree right in front of me. Gotta get over that. They're hard to see in the camera because they're so small, but I know they're there. I can look close and see it. I have it set up on a timer so that I don't have camera shake when I hit the shutter button. So I have about a 2-second delay, and get my hand off of it, picture take is then taken, and that way I don't have absolutely any camera shake at all. Sun's starting to go down, so I'm going to start wrapping things up. Even though I have still a little bit of light here, I may take a few more pictures, and I'll share some with you at the end of this video. Thanks. Appreciate you coming to watch me. To help me out, hit the like button. And for those that do not get on YouTube often, what you have to do to hit the like button is you have to log into YouTube first. You have to just use an email address that you have, create a password, and then log in. It doesn't cost you anything, and they don't send you ads, because I've been logged in for years, and you do not get ads. It doesn't cost a dime. But unless you log in, you can't hit the like button. So please help me out by doing that, and hope you enjoy a few of the pictures that I've taken. Thanks.